Today we are in Kyneton, where there is yet another beehive. I'm just waiting for confirmation of if we're pulling this out from the outside through the rock wall or if we're doing it from the inside through the plaster. Outside will be cleaner, except harder to repair to match. Inside will be messy as. But anyway, the hive is huge. Goes from the right up the top to halfway down the wall, and if there's honey below, which is unlikely, it'll be a bit bigger again. There we go. The phone call we just had was confirmation to do it from the outside. So based on other stone wall jobs we've done, we'll break the stone wall up and just leave it in a pile at the bottom. That's usually put onto timber slats, so then we'll cut the timber slats and go from there. We'll get that exposed first and then we'll set up all our equipment. Okay, so because the stone wall outside is so thick, it's a good 3 centimeters thick, it would literally take me 5 to 8 hours to break through enough and expose enough of the hive to do the job. So even though it's going to be very messy doing it inside, it's the most time effective. It'll be a heap cheaper to clean up inside than it would be to pay me to spend hours getting through the rock wall. As you can see, the purple line marks the hive. It's very big. I'll take the corner trim off and not cut the cornice. We've taken the curtains down and taped up the gaps that bees could leave the room via, because once they're in here we want to keep them in here until we bee vac them. This window is about to break out of its frame. It needs fixing if they don't want the glass broken, but anyway, so yay, now we'll do some cuts and go from there. Oh, and because I left my normal rubber bands in bright, I had to pick up some more today. Unfortunately, they're not the right size, so you're going to see frames not done how I would normally rubber band frames. The thermal image made it look like the hive had been there for years because was so big, but that's all fresh white comb. Be interesting to see what's higher up. It's also cement sheet here, which is a darn nuisance to get through, and clearly they've had a hive here in the past. You can see where a hive's been pulled out previously and the cavity wasn't filled, so because the cavity wasn't filled, another hive moved in. But yay, let's keep exposing the hive. We might have to do it in stages because it's fresh white comb, so it won't be as strong as older comb, so it might not be able to sustain the weight if I expose the whole thing first up. I had to go find some rags. There's some more rags on the way, but because this cavity goes all the way to the bottom, if I didn't fill it, we would have bees dropping all the way down while I'm working, and I don't want to pull the whole sheet off. So we've now blocked it up. So yay, we can continue taking the cement sheeting off. There we go. So the left hand side is all honey, the right hand side is all baby bees and eggs and little grubs. There we go. So we'll get the loose honey out, and then we'll catch this before it falls. Oh, no, it fell. Okay, anyway, now we'll focus on getting the honey out. Here we go. I've got a heap of the honey out. The reason I'm doing the honey first, which I normally do the brood first, is the way the brood is, it's hard to get to it with all that honey there. So by taking the honey out first, I'm making it a bit easier. Anyway, I've just got that little corner to do on the bottom 1.5 meters, and I've just got the top meter. Awesome. Okay, bottom 1.5 meters is done, just the top meter to go. We currently have 1 frame of honey, 4 frames of brood, and as you can see how I'm framing them up, a little different than normal. Lots of bees on the windows. So, yay, we'll get started on the next bit. And there's the second part of it. A lot more twisty turny, a fair whack more honey. So yeah, they're not making it easy. We've started up the bee vac. I've got to bee vac a heap of bees off the floor before I worry about that. There's only honey left in the hive and the queen. So we'll bee vac all these bees that are clustering on the floor. Like so. Takes them into the hive box that we've got the rest of their resources and babies in. We've been bee vacking for ages. We've got a huge amount of the bees. Just seeing if there's a gap up here. Nope. Okay. And no bees in that little cavity there. So now we'll check outside and we'll run a few areas with the thermal camera. It's like obviously a lot of bees are still around. I've cleared off the windows, but we'll still get some over there as well. So, yeah, let's check outside. Okay, we're outside, obviously. Not many bees at the 2 entrances, mostly drones. I think we can pretty much now bee vac the last few and fill the cavity and block it up. Okay, the cavity is filled with the old clothing. End up having a blind bee vac the queen. The hive went up about 20 centimeters higher than the bottom of the timber, and obviously I didn't want to take out the fancy cornice or anything, so I just had to blindly cut and vacuum. So got the queen in the box, because the moment I got her in the box, the remaining bees started running around looking for her rather frantically. So we know she's in the box. Windows are clear. The curtains just need to go back up, and the bracket needs fixing. That obviously needs fixing, and then there's a hole lower down on the wall where I started to do it from the outside that needs fixing, and there's a couple of holes where they were entrances. That is for the benefit of the guy fixing it tomorrow, young Ian. Other than that, we're all loaded. all done. We'll load up the last of our stuff and then have a look outside. It's really messy in here, but I warned them that it would be because dealing with honey. There you go. Out here, almost no bees, just a few little handful. There's the little hole I made before I realised just how thick this rock wall was. Anyway, let's get these bees to quarantine. Another indicator that we got the queen is I left the box just near the entrance so I could drive the ute over to pick it up because it's darn heavy. A lot of bees in this box, but we've already got bees landing on the mesh and fanning to say, hey, Queenie's in here. So there we go.